Moving on now, West Asia is witnessing a severe escalation in tensions as the prospect of a lasting peace deal between the US and Iran remains uncertain. While the fragile ceasefire remains in place, Iran has issued a fresh warning. Tehran says that it could enrich its uranium stockpile to 90% purity if it is attacked again by the United States or Israel. But the warning came a day after US President Donald Trump said the ceasefire with Iran is on life support. Sharing a post on X, Iranian Parliamentary Commission spokesperson Ibrahim Rizai wrote, "One of Iran's opinions or options in the event of another attack could be 90% enrichment. We will review it in the parliament," unquote. Uranium enriched to roughly 90% is considered weapons grade. According to the IAEA, Iran currently holds around 400 kilograms of uranium enriched to 60% purity. US intelligence assessment suggests that Tehran's nuclear program will not be significantly impeded unless that highly enriched uranium stockpile is removed or destroyed. The nuclear issue has been a key point of contention in talks between the US and Iran to end the war that Washington launched in late February. As of now, US President Donald Trump has dismissed the latest Iranian counter-proposal as quote-unquote garbage and totally unacceptable. Well, this drew a response from Iran, where the country's Foreign Affairs Ministry accused the US of having one-sided views.
The only thing we have demanded are Iran's legitimate rights. I leave the judgment to you and to our people. Is Iran's request to end the war in the region, Iran's request to stop maritime piracy against Iranian vessels, which they have called a maritime blockade, or Iran's request for the release of assets belonging to the Iranian people, unjustly blocked for years due to US pressure on foreign banks, an excessive demand? Is our proposal to ensure safe navigation through the Strait of Hormuz an excessive request?
Tehran has emphasized its sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz, demanded compensation for damage sustained during the war, and an end to the US naval blockade, among other conditions. However, Trump says Iran's response threatens the status of the ongoing ceasefire. Well, Trump is set to travel to China on Wednesday, where Iran is set to be among the topics he wants to discuss with the Chinese President Xi Jinping. It will be the first face-to-face talks between the leaders of the world's two largest economies in more than 6 months. A day before heading to China, Trump shared some images which can best be described as memes. One showed Iranian boats destroyed. Another post shows a drone being shot down by lasers. Well, the US President also shared another picture showing the length of Afghanistan war, which lasted 543 weeks, along with the timelines of other wars. Well, this was to draw a comparison with the war on Iran, which is called the Iran excursion, and it is showing lasting 6 weeks. But China maintains ties with Iran and remains a major consumer of its oil exports. Trump has been leaning on China to use its influence to push Tehran to make a deal with Washington and end the war that began when the US and Israel launched strikes on Iran in late February. Well, on Sunday, Trump rejected Iran's response to a US proposal for peace talks, dashing hopes for an imminent end to the conflict that is now in its 3rd month. The war has also paralyzed maritime traffic in the Strait of Hormuz, roiling energy markets globally.